Weebs! Got a little present for you kids. Daddy's home.
Have you ever asked yourself the question, what is the best anime of all time? Some of you may think of many classics like Demon Slayer, One Punch Man, One Piece, Naruto. But none come compared to Planet Cuties. Planet Cuties is the greatest anime of all time, and if you disagree with me, your opinion is completely invalid. I don't care what you think. You're a loser, ha ha ha, whatever cringy insult. Planet Cuties is one of those animes that came out back in 2010. 12 episodes, has one OVA, and it is honestly one of those that I think is really good for its time. The dubbed is also really good for the most part. It's just one of those where you're not meant to take the anime serious. You're meant to go in there, you're meant to enjoy it for what it is. It's just fun, it's outlandish, it's this whole kind of relaxed kind of, oh, I'm just a cat dropping by. And it definitely goes into a lot of mature themes. A lot of mature themes. But it also doesn't shy away from having fun with a lot of the tropes that are in this anime. Especially with the whole melons and flat chests and constantly drumming that out. And then also the kind of the spies, the working for the American secret organization. And there's some interesting power stuff in there as well that isn't just scientific kind of stuff with the cat girls with all their fancy contraptions. And it even does get into some more darker tones or more deeper tones of things like humanoid robots and the evolution of, like, even though these are cat people, they also have their own robots that represented what they looked like. They imitated it, and then they kind of go over how some of that stuff kind of impacted them negatively, how they treated those robots and the emotions on it and some of the guilt that someone felt. So there's a lot of fun stuff in it, but there's also some interesting moments where you see these characters go through some personal growth or some interesting themes being delved into that are a bit more serious. And then you go into all the puns, especially in the dub, where there's all these cat dog puns, flea balls, digging ticks out, like every pun you can think of when it comes to cats and dogs, name it. Now, of course, you're sitting there thinking, if you haven't watched the anime, what are you doing with yourself? And you're thinking, what about dog puns? This is an anime about cats. Well, there's also alien dog girls as well. So if you're not just into, you don't want just cat girls, you want some dog girls, there is one dog character in the anime that is sort of the villain or the antagonist of the story. And then, of course, they've got all their own little mini robots that they have, because that's what I mentioned about the humanoid aspect. And then they've got their little toy robot. They basically just look like glorified toys. And that's where you're meant to throw reality out the window. At no point are you meant to take this serious and think, oh, how would this work technologically? And they throw a lot of fun puns at sort of the non-alien aspect of it. There's a whole secret organization that is mad that this girl that's just coming to drop by, and try out all the tasty beverages and treats and foods and all the rest, isn't alien enough, and so they try to remove her, and it just kind of leads into one crazy situation after the next. It is absolutely wonkos of an anime. You should not go into it expecting some complex, deep romantic series. I always love to joke about it, meme about it, because the anime community has this tendency where they take things too serious. They'll look at animes like this and they'll go, oh, it's too ecchi, it's too fan servicey, blah, 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 blah. And especially in this day and age of 2025, where everything has to be watered down because everyone's too sensitive to enjoy something a little bit silly, I like recommending these kinds of animes because it just takes a more fun, silly aspect to anime itself. But again, you're going to see some people that will take great offenses at it. Let's be honest here. If this anime came out in 2025, this would cause so much uproar. There'd be so much censorship. There'd be so much complaining about it that it would not be funny. Which is why it's great that we got some of these timeless classics that we can hang on to. And that's why owning a physical copy of it is so good, because, oh boy, finding it online would be a nightmare for people. Because I know Crunchyroll says they have it, but they actually don't. I highly recommend it for those that want that comedy, ecchi, harem, romance, sci-fi kind of feel to it. And especially at the fact that, yes, you're going to get a lot of puns in it. You're also going to get a lot of breeding things going on. Because, of course, this individual cat girl is going through one of her mating cycles. And she definitely wants to ride the jolly of the main protagonist. Now, the only drawback that I would say with this anime is the main male protagonist. He is the most wishy-washy, most watered-down human on the planet. He is easy to tread over, has no backbone whatsoever, and the anime is very self-aware of that. And it points it out, especially when the girls are making advancements. And it's not just one, it's not just two, it's 3 girls trying to make a move on him. And they all kind of fight over it. Some of them are in denial. Some of them are very brazen about it. Some of them are a bit shy. And so that's the thing. It's a harem. Go into it expecting some crazy shenanigans. But the main protagonist is very much one of those where it's a wishy-washy self-insert kind of character. Again, self-awareness of what it's about. It's still a fun series. You can also, again, like I said before, you can watch it subbed and dubbed. That is your choice, what you want. If you're just a purist, you hate all dubs, you've got the sub there. If you want a dub, you've got it there as well. The dub is pretty solid. Main male protagonist, the voice actor for it does a really good job for what the character's meant to be. Very wishy-washy, very all over the place. And of course, our lovely cat girl herself is very much one of those playful, good voice to it, but is constantly trying to jump him. And that's what makes the anime fun. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of Cat Planet Cuties? Have you watched it? Do you like it? Because it's one of those animes, like I said, if we look back at now to the past, this would be one of those animes like High School DxD. It honestly would cause a lot of controversy. Because there's a lot more Puritan, all fan service evil, animes just for weebs and losers and incels. But when I go into this anime, I just like to have fun. I just like to be silly. I don't take these things serious. But at the same time, the fan service is mighty good. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And I think people going into it will know that. There is the light novels, might I add. The English translations to them do not exist. If you find any, tell me. But there's no legal English translation for the light novels. There's definitely the light novels out there. They're in Japanese. If you can find them, you can get them. Great for you. But sadly, there is no way for an English consumer to really consume them unless you speak Japanese, and you can go online and find the old copies of them. Which is disappointing because, yeah, it's one of those where I would love to be able to read the light novels to see where the story goes. Because the ending to it does have a very nice kind of clean ending where everything kind of wraps up with a nice little bow. I don't want to spoil the story, but it's one of those where, yeah, you kind of get it. Everything kind of resolves itself as far as where the cat girls stand, the dogs, and the feelings of certain individuals and who stands where, and also just the fact that the anime has some clever ways of getting around the harem aspect, because it's like, oh, well, we can't all be together because, you know, that's not allowed. And it's like, well, in my planet, we're allowed to do this, and we're at an embassy, so we can do whatever we want. So if 3 girls want to jump the bed of one guy and all get into a harem, we're allowed because it's Cat Planet Cuties and we're at an embassy of cat people, and we allow that kind of stuff. So the anime is very much clever in how it gets around that by just using those kinds of gimmicks. But again, go in it very aware that there is a lot of crazy shenanigans. You've got, like I said, secret organizations that hate aliens, that unless there's some secret organic kind of thing. You've got different governmental groups trying to interfere. You've got the dog people trying to interfere, which they're doing things under the table. You've got a secret cat organization that worships cats and wants to become cats, and so they worship the Pacific cat girl, and do all these it's like a crazy rich person that has more money than sense that does crazy stuff, and it's like, I want a rocket and I want it now. And then you've of course got the maids that follow her that are absolutely wonkos, mentally insane, unstable, do weird things. And then you've got a guy that's apparently related to the main male protagonist who does some weird shenanigans, gets into an adult movie, and films these girls in bikinis on a boat to a giant boat where they blow things up with secret cat and dog suits where they fight each other. Like I said, if you've not watched this anime, sense will be thrown out the window. But it's fun, and I absolutely love it. And it's one of the reasons why I love going back to rewatching it from time to time. Because it's one of those where you throw all of the stupidity of everything having to be so solid and not too much this and not too much that. And it's just stupid fun. That's what Planet Cuties is. It is stupid fun. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I want more of that in 2025. It's just kind of sad that we kind of in a time where a lot of this kind of stuff gets really hammered down and hated on. Because, of course, people can't watch an anime and go, oh, maybe it's not for me. I'll let others enjoy it. No, everything has to be made for their specific tastes. And no one else is allowed to enjoy different things. So again, love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Have you watched Planet Cuties? Do you enjoy it? Do you hate it? If you do, tell me in the comment section so I know to block you. I'm just kidding. I'll probably just laugh at you and mock you without saying a comment. So again, love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Have you watched it? What are your thoughts? And if you haven't watched it and you're watching this video and this intrigues you, give it a watch. And then tell me what you think. And again, if you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.